Hi everyone, this is Gayle. Welcome to my Bodacious live stream tonight. We are doing this My Mini Griddle unboxing. I have absolutely loved the other one that I have, but after a couple of years, I started wearing down the cooking surface. And so I got this one, which I'm really super excited about. We have Tanya Lambert in the house tonight. Hi, Tanya. Welcome. I'm not sure what happened on the other live stream a few minutes ago. I was streaming and in mid sentence, and then all of a sudden it was gone, the whole stream. So sorry about that. Don't know what happened. So, but it's good to see you. So, hi, Tanya. Let me pull her up so you all can see her too. Hi. Welcome. Hey, Thomas Moore is in the house. Hi, Thomas. How are you? Getting ready for your big trip, I guess? I'm on my big trip now, which is why the difference in the time change kind of got me. And I was afraid it might, but I was hoping it wouldn't. So, but I brought this along because it came right before I left. So, super excited about it. I have done several videos on the My Mini Griddle cooking. Hey, Peter Parker's in the house. Hey, Peter. You have been on my mind, and I have been praying for your situation. I hope that it will go as well as it can. So I really don't want to, say too much. I don't know what you've got in mind or whatever, but just want you to know you've been in my prayers. And we've got Living Positively After Challenges is in. Hi, Living Positively. And Stellar Piper is in the house. So, whoa, we have a full house tonight. Sorry about the time change. It got me. I am not home. I am a few hours away from home. And my time, I had it set up for Eastern time, but it came up for Mountain time. And I don't know how to say I'm sorry, but I appreciate y'all's patience and I'm sorry for that. So anyway, we're all here together now. We're all live. So yay. Good for us. And we've been traveling. We finally gotten settled. So that's a load off. And so this came right before I left, and I thought this would be great to go ahead and do the unboxing on. So I'm super stoked about it. I've done several videos with the My Mini Griddle where I have cooked various things. I've been really impressed with these because so far everything I've thrown at it to cook on it, it's cooked it well. Problem is, just after a couple of years, I've used it so much that the coating is coming off. So, oh, don't tell me I'm having internet issues on top of everything. I'm sorry. This campground that I'm in doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I'm hooked up on my phone. The phone, I'm showing I've got 5 bars of signal. 5G full bars are showing. So I don't know what's causing the internet issues. Hopefully it'll resolve and it's just something just quirky. And hopefully it'll resolve. Hopefully that's not going to be too much to hope for. Let me just check something on my end and just see if I can change anything, if there's anything in the system that I can change. Sometimes I can dumb it down a little bit. So let me see if I can do that. Hey, welcome. Look who we've got here. It's Bonkea. Oh, yeah. Well, welcome. Okay, I'm looking. There doesn't seem to be anything I can change and update. $5 on a 5G network. So I don't know what else it could be. So it has been a long time, but welcome. See you. And Tanya says hi. So, yay. Yeah, I'm just looking right quick to see if there's anything at all that I can change on here. And I'm not seeing a thing in the world that I can change. So hopefully this is just going to be some little quirky thing and it's going to work its way out. That's what I'm going to hope for because I don't have anything else that I can do on my end. So sorry, you all. Okay, Living Positively says she's had issues trying to go live too. Hopefully I'll figure it out. Apparently in StreamYard, I didn't have my audio connected. Now that can happen. You can sometimes you won't have it set up to run both. So yeah, there's all kinds of things. I'm just checking one more thing. One more thing here. Yeah, I don't. I've got it all. I've got everything set that I can set. So all right. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go. Tanya says it's okay. I'm here just doing a quick budget. Oh, yeah, budgets are no fun. They are no fun at all. Peter says YouTube's messing up again. Could be. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and open this. This is same kind of mini griddle I've been cooking on. This is the Nostalgia My Mini Griddle, which I love. This is the primary component in my van kitchen for van life. So what I've got is I've got the other My Mini Griddle. I've got a little tiny personal skillet that I use sometimes, and I've got a crock pot. This is mostly what I do. You all have seen some videos on it. If not, then I hope you'll check them out because I've got a playlist of videos that I've done where I'm cooking on this and on the other one, and it's cooked everything I've thrown at it. Some of them it's a little weird because when I go to do biscuits, I come up with really flat biscuits because of the nature of the clamshell on this. And so I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and unbox this. Okay. Oh, and on the side it says, compact size is perfect for dorm rooms, small kitchens, campers, and more. Quickly heats, cooking surface for even and consistent cooking. It's 5 inches, non-stick cooking surface, wipes clean easily. And it does. That's one of the things that I really like about it is how easy it is to clean because all I ever do is wipe it out. You've seen me, a bleach wipe. It's all right. So the paperwork that's in here, let's start here and I'll show you. It's got this little thing about making a review, just a little flyer about welcome to the nostalgia party and the brands that they do and so forth. Then there's this one, which is a little cookbook. I'm doing good, Thomas Moore. I'm doing good. And Thomas says I have an old nickel plate railroad spike. That sounds amazing. For those of you who don't know, Thomas has got this huge, extensive collection of railroad spikes and a huge amount of knowledge for train and railroading history. Vast, vast knowledge there. So, yeah. So, okay. So on this, it's got the My Mini Griddle cookbook and instructions. So I'm just going to flip through this right quick. Safety, important safeguards, helpful tips, cleaning and maintenance. So it's just your basic stuff here. I'm gonna flip on over to the recipes though, because I want to see what it says I can cook, because I just want to see where what I'm doing compares. And I've lost the page number. Because of course I've lost the page number, right? Because that's just me. I just saw it here too. Back to the beginning. Recipes, page 8. 6, 7, 8. All right. Found it. Oh, Thomas says I have a huge HO scale train layout. So an HO scale is they've just taken the trains and then shrunk it down to everything's the same scale on the HO, and you can set up lots of train stuff. So whole train yard there. So go check out his channel so you can find it. So, okay, just glancing at the recipe book here. Okay, it's got old-fashioned pancakes. So we've got that done. I've done that on the mini griddle. A breakfast sandwich. English muffin, sausage patty, egg, cheddar or American cheese, butter, and salt and pepper. I have not done that yet. I was going to do that, and then they didn't have any for this huge snowstorm at the time, but I got to go back and check on that. That sounds great. It's got mini quesadillas, which I have done. Crab cakes. I'm not doing crab cakes, y'all. I'm allergic to crab. So that's out. And then chocolate chip cookie. Okay, I have not done the chocolate chip cookie yet. Otherwise, I think we're holding up pretty good. So, yeah. I've done stir fries and all kinds of things on there that didn't list. Spotify is a good app to listen to anything you want, to music, stories, podcast news. Okay. I've not done that much on Spotify, although I have been to Spotify and listened to Living Positively After Challenges. Lori Fanilia there. She's got some great music up, and Spotify is the place to go for it. Okay. Stellar says she's not a fan of the ads. Gotcha. Doesn't want to pay for premiums. Yep. And Living Positively After Challenges is saying yummy recipes. So, yeah. I think so too. So, all right. Let me pull this out of the box. I'm expecting it to be the same as the other one, except the other one is kind of a teal turquoise color. Okay, I got it. And this one's red. So just real quick, some reasons that I like this so well is because it is extremely compact and portable. Now, the downside to that is the same as the positive, in that it is so compact and portable that it can be a challenge to cook something large on it, because you're just not going to be able to do it. But you can cook in stages if you need to, and I've shown some of that on the recipes that I have done. So what I'll do is, over in the comments, I will link that so you all can see it over in the comments. So here we go. My mini griddle. There you go. And it's about the same size. So comparing to my hand, you can see the comparison there. And I wear a medium glove. There we are. The print on it's a little different, but that's okay. Open it up. And this may be just a little deeper than my other My Mini Griddle, so I'm going to have to check that out. If so, that's going to be a really cool feature. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead and I'm not going to cook anything in it tonight, but I am going to just plug it in and make sure it turns on. The reason I'm not going to cook anything is because anytime you first get one of these, it's like some of the other appliances in that there's always a coating that you have to burn off. So I am going to just let the coating burn off. I'm just going to heat this up really good. The light is on. There we go. So it is on. And let's see. Oh yeah, it's heating up. It's definitely, yeah, it's heating up. I think it's going to heat up really nicely. It's heating up fast. So next week, I'll see if I can't cook something on it. But I want to go ahead and tell you that next week's live stream is not going to be on Saturday. It's going to be on Sunday. That's because my little grandbaby, she turns 2. I cannot believe it's been 2 years already, right? Since she bounced into the world. But she'll be 2, her party Saturday. So I'm not going to live stream during the party and try to like go someplace and find a signal and all that. So I'm just going to be moving it to Sunday. Now it's going to be at the regular time, and I am setting an alarm so I will be able to get the timing right next week that I didn't get right this week. So I want to go in here to the chat. Actually, this is heating up quite a bit. I think I just burned myself. Okay, going back to the chat. Yeah, note to self, don't touch the hot griddle. Let's see. So Tanya's been having some health challenges. I want to go see if she said something about that. Okay, here we go. Let me get, okay, Living Positively After Challenges says that she's at iHeartRadio too, and it's free. So iHeartRadio. And Tanya says, guys, my internet is in and out for some reason. I'm going to go ahead and go. It's raining. Thank you for coming, Tanya. I'm glad to see you, and I appreciate you coming by. And Tanya's saying it could be the rain, and she's going to leave and come back. Oh, good. She says that's better. So, yay. I know, and she says, I know everybody's been praying for me because I've been having some medical issues. They found out that the food I'm eating isn't going through my digestive tract as well as it should. That's what's been causing my pain and everything. So we're still doing more tests because we got to figure out why. But I wanted to update you and say thanks for all the prayers. I'm glad that it's something that they can work on. And it could be some medicines are causing food not to go through the stomach easily. So maybe that's just something simple like that, and they can just change medicines. We're going to keep praying and hoping for that. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about reaching out, and Tanya has trouble reaching out. I think a lot of us do, Tanya. I really do. Thank you for the happy birthday. I'm so excited. Peter, I am very, very sorry. And okay, and Living Positively says, I just had my updated COVID shot, which made me sick for a few days. I'm better today now, my arm. Oh, arm hurts. I'm sorry. That's awful when your arm hurts like that. But you'll be glad you had it done, though, so you don't have to worry about catching the nasty bug as much. Tanya says they're doing more testing with barium. Yuck. Yeah, that stuff is not fun to swallow. It's awful. I hope it goes well. So, yeah. So, good. Living Positively says her immunity is already getting better. So, that's good. Because there's so much crap out there, and some people are wearing masks and some aren't. And it's really weird too, because like it mask wearing, it seems to be still prevalent in some areas and not so much as in others. I noticed that on this last drive that I've taken through several states. It's just really interesting to me because you would think it would kind of all be kind of on the same level, if that makes any sense. But like I went out somewhere today and saw several people wearing masks, and like at home you might see one or two, but today it was quite a few people, especially in the restaurant we went to. So yeah. And let's see, Living Positively says Tanya will be up and running once she gets the right medicine for her new condition. I agree. And hopefully Peter won't be having much pain. Let's see, I've got thing popping up here. Let me see. I just want to make sure that this message that just came in is not related to our chat or our program. Because if it is, I wanted to address it because, we had Gloria and she would sometimes send a message that she was tuning in and listening, but she's pretty much off social media now, though. I don't know that she's going to come back. She sort of has had it with social media in general, not with us necessarily, and not with YouTube necessarily, but just social media in general. Y'all know what I mean. Okay, that's not her. So, all right. So, yeah. So, I hope y'all are having a good weekend. I hope it hasn't been too rainy and snowy where you are. Let's see. Tanya says, any tips on getting cheaper tickets for places like Walt Disney World? If you have AAA, Walt Disney World has some special pricing through AAA. I don't know that you're saving a lot, but Disney doesn't do discounts much just because they don't need to. People want their services, want to go to Disney World, and so they're willing to pay big bucks. So for Disney tickets, it really makes a difference what season you're in when you go. Because if you go on a peak season, they have surge pricing. So you're going to pay a lot more during peak season than you will during off season. It used to only be that way for like hotels. But Disney has really pushed that forward several years ago and implemented surge pricing for park tickets. So pay attention to when you book. If you go to, there's certain calendars that you could pull up online that will tell you like what the Disney ticket prices are. So if you go to waltdisneyworld.com, you can go in to buy tickets and go ahead and drill on down to the dates that you're interested in, and it'll pull it up and give you an idea of what the ticket prices are. So if you pick a time where it's more expensive because you're hitting that peak, look at going off peak, and sometimes just a couple of days is all you need to make a difference on a Disney ticket. So that's the first thing that I would suggest, well, second thing that I would suggest, first thing, if you have AAA, check into those prices. And then definitely go off peak. The other thing that you can do to save a few dollars is if you have a Sam's Club membership, you can buy Walt Disney tickets at a couple of Walt Disney gift cards, rather, at a couple of dollars off. Again, you're not saving a huge amount, but with Disney, every dollar saved really, really helps. And there are some things that you can do so you don't have to spend as much money in the park itself. Disney will let you bring in like lunch and food from outside of the parks. So plan on doing that. Have in mind, if you really want like what I call a splurge meal, have in mind where you might want to go. And that may be, you may want to do character dining on that. So whether you go like to the Magic Kingdom and you go to Crystal Palace and you see Winnie the Pooh and all of his friends, or you go to a more upscale non-character dining, you've got those options too. Disney also has like some basic, like what they call quick service, which is kind of like what you think of for fast food. So there's those options. So if you bring in your own food, obviously you're not paying anything for lunch out. You can not like what you would pay if you bought it in the park. I mean, I'm not implying your lunch is free, but you know what I mean. You're not spending money in the park. So you can bring your own lunch, you can bring your own snacks, bring your own drinks. Ice water is free if you go to any place that has fountain drinks. You can just walk up and say, "Hey, can I have some ice water?" They'll give it to you. There's no question, no problem, nothing like that. People do it all the time, all the time. So you can go and get your free ice water. Bring a packet of flavoring if you don't like regular water. Also, I'm a big believer, I think we talked last week, I like my filter water bottle because it filters flavor. So you get some of the metallic taste out. So, get your ice water there. Bring your packets if you need to. Bring your lunch. And then you're not having to buy food in the park. You can bring in your snacks and something too. But then to really help give you a Disney experience, you can look at getting one of the dining options, whether you want to do, like I said, the character dining, which is really pretty cool, or you just might want to go for a more upscale meal. For example, over at the Animal Kingdom, they've got Boma, fabulous food, and you're getting the Disney experience because you're in this really stylized, very well designed place to eat, restaurant. And from that building, you can actually go like down the hallway and do the Savannah overlook for the Animal Kingdom, and you can see a lot of animals there. So that's kind of nice. But if you're going to go to the Magic Kingdom, I would look at arranging ahead of time if you want to do character dining. Crystal Palace with Winnie the Pooh is a good solid choice for there. And again, you can do lunch instead of dinner, which will be a little bit cheaper. So what I would do is look at, when I'm cutting cost, look at doing like one of those really nice experiences and then bringing my food most of the time. Hang on a second. Sorry, y'all, I'm coughing tonight. Let's see. She really wants to go, but it's very expensive. Yeah, it is. Living Positively says they have a Quality Inn at $700 for 2 people for a week with breakfast and a fridge. That's a pretty good deal. Tawny's looking for something for her trip for next year. What would you suggest for a first-time traveler, aka me, and a seasoned traveler, aka living, to go foreign in the US but not too expensive a trip? I don't do foreign trips that much, except I guess driving to Alaska counts. I tend to stay stateside, so I really don't have really great insights on flying and doing foreign countries. I've looked at it personally, but I've never done it, so I don't know that I can really give advice on it. Let's see. Tanya says, I could always use tips on flying, as I've never done anything like this by myself or at all. Okay, flying tips I can do. I can get you tips for flying. Okay. And I could do a whole lot of live stream. Oh, Tanya, Stellar Piper is saying, Tanya, there's a ton of free stuff to do in DC. Oh, for a trip, not foreign, stupid phone. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can pull some of this up. Flying, I can give you tips on. And Stellar Pipe is right. There's a ton of free stuff to do in DC. And she used to live there, and she can give you some insights there. DC is one of those towns, one of those cities where you're going to pay a lot for a hotel room because of where you are, but that is offset by the free things that there are to do in the town. Now, if you're going to do DC, most of the things that you want to do are during the week. There's not as much to do because your museums and some of the things are only open Monday through Friday, but there is still some things that you can do on weekends. New York City is a city where you're going to pay a lot. They are a city that really never sleeps, so you've got a good assortment of things to do on weekends and weekdays. It can be a very expensive place, but there are also free things that you can do in New York City. So I know, I wish he could go too. I wish he could go too. Where do you think you would like? I understand you can't go with Archer, but where do you think you would like to go on a trip? Give me an idea of where you're thinking about going, and I can maybe make some suggestions. So, and yes, before somebody comments on it, I am wearing 2 watches, and that's because my analog is on home time. My digital is on here because I'm a few hours difference. And you would think that would have helped me. But what I really need is an alarm clock on an analog watch that's going to say, Gayle, Gayle, and wave in front of my face to tell me it's time to do the live stream. What do you think, Living? Tanya's asking Living for an idea. Okay. We're thinking about New Orleans. We're thinking about that. We're thinking about the beach in Florida, but I'm not good at balancing and sand. Okay. So let's just pick on New Orleans, and I'll look some things up. So I'll have more information and I can talk to you about it next week. But just some things off the top of my head. You mentioned flying. We've talked before about getting a TSA program specialist. They're wonderful. So do that. Flying, keep a watch on the TSA guidelines for what you can go through with TSA. I like to minimize what I'm taking. So what I did was, the last time I flew, I totally got around the liquids rule by not taking liquids. You've got a couple of options there. One is buy everything when you get there. The other thing is simply don't take liquids. So I took soap, soap for my shower, that was a bar. My shampoo, that was a bar. So do things like that. I'm sorry, you all. Hold on. I'm in a higher elevation and my lungs are not taking this well. Okay. So for New Orleans, I'm going to skip on the airlines and I'll do a thing on that. I need tips on saving money too because I'm not good at it. I can relate. Talked about diet. You might be on permanent liquids. Okay. So a lot of your food you're going to probably want to buy at your destination. Bring some with you, of course. But liquids can be heavy and challenging to get through TSA. You're probably going to want to pack them on your carry-on. Probably want to pack them in your suitcase. Have some on the carry-on. I've been concerned about how many snacks I can bring on the plane. Keep checking the TSA guidelines for what you can take. I don't think that I'll double check it, but I don't think there's really that much limits on snacks. It's more your liquids. We have to empty our water bottles before we get in the plane, I hear, yes. And what you can do there is just take your water bottles empty and fill them up after you get through the TSA checkpoint. Some people are taking them frozen, which at that point, it's not a liquid, it's frozen. I probably wouldn't do that because I think that's a pain. Because as your bottle of water thaws, you're going to have condensation on the outside of your bottle to have to deal with. I don't like dealing with stuff like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. A filtered water bottle. That's what I would recommend. Personally, I like my filtered water bottle. And they have got them where, Big Tom's van was talking about he has one that's like a $90 water bottle and it filters everything. He said he could dip it in the creek and go. Mine just filters flavor. So, yeah. So let's talk about New Orleans. Let me see if I've got any photos that I can pull up. I really like New Orleans, but it's a different kind of place, I'll tell you. So first off the bat, I would not go during Mardi Gras season because of a couple of things. You're going to have more crowds, and some of your crowds are going to be rowdy. But because you have so many crowds, you're also paying higher prices because that's going to be like peak season. Let's see. I don't have any photos that I can just access real quick. But all right. It was worth a shot. Okay, Stellar's going to bow out. Stellar, thank you for coming. I appreciate you coming in. And let's see. I don't want to put off the resort, but I'm going to get a 4-stage water bottle for the airports too. Probably not a bad idea. The cleaner your water can be, just the better you're going to be. Tanya says there's a lot of things that might stop me from going, like fixing up my mom and dad's house and stuff like that. It depends on what he's going to come at me. Gotcha. Tanya doesn't want to go during Mardi Gras. Okay, good. Okay, so good night, Stellar. Thanks for coming in. So, okay, not going during Mardi Gras is a good thing because it's going to put you in a lower price time period. For New Orleans, you're going to look at probably ground transportation from the airport into New Orleans. If you're trying not to rent a car, then you're going to need to stay closer to downtown, maybe at a hotel with a shuttle. There used to be a really nice Marriott that was just like a couple of blocks off from downtown, if it's still there. That would probably be a convenient location. I think they've got a shuttle too. So you're probably going to want to check into something like that. So in downtown New Orleans, there are several things that you can do. There's always going to be shops that you can go into and restaurants that you can go into. Downtown New Orleans also has Cafe du Monde, which is a neat place to go and get a beignet and get some coffee and just kind of people watch, because New Orleans is great for people watching. And there are fortune tellers that, will tell your fortune, and comparatively, they're not a lot of money. Some things that are specific to New Orleans: cemeteries. They have the strangest cemeteries. So I would suggest taking a cemetery tour, or a tour that includes a cemetery. Um, French Quarter is just really cool. It's really cool. So I would take some time, walk around the French Quarter. The houses down there have some amazing architecture. So, you know, go kind of check out the architecture of the French Quarter, because that's really cool. And as you walk through, if you're there on an evening, then you're going to hear sounds, and you may sometimes see some street performers performing, music, and because it is the birthplace of jazz. Kind of in the center of New Orleans, kind of off from the center a little bit, there's a small national park that is pretty interesting to go look at. Um, you are close, if you've got a car and you're going to drive, you're close to a couple of other national parks. So you might want to consider that. Um, Going to the visitor center in New Orleans, you can pick up a lot of information there. I mean, that's what visitor centers are for. They can also give you any current coupons that they have, which can really be helpful, super helpful there. Let's see what else we got here. Also, with New Orleans, kind of watch your season. Try to get out of like hurricane season. If you do go during a time for hurricane season where that might be an issue, I strongly recommend getting trip insurance. So if you have to cancel, you're not going to be out a bunch of money. Let's see. I thought that word said crocodile, Tanya. LOL. I'm seeing crocodiles where the lagoon across from where I'm staying in Cancun has crocodiles. Gotcha. No, you don't have to worry about that too much. New Orleans started out as a shipping location. New Orleans was a port city. Actually, I think it's the third largest port from Italian immigrants, so it goes back way on back. Um, you're gonna like these in New Orleans. I wish I could pull up a picture. They're just really interesting. Oh, and New Orleans, something else that you might like to do in New Orleans. It's a little pricey, but if you can afford it, a carriage ride of New Orleans is really cool. Um, yeah, let's see. But carriage rides anywhere are pricey. And that's, you've got the horses, you've got the upkeep, you've got the insurance, the vet skills, you got to, the feed, all kinds of things. Just looking right quick, in just doing a quick search, Google Photos here. There is, oh my gosh, y'all, there is a church down in the center of New Orleans. I don't have a picture of it. Darn. It's a cathedral, well, really a basilica, because I think the Pope preached there. Um, St. Louis, I think it is. Oh, I got to look this up. This is all off the top of my head, y'all. So I'll look some more information up and get you, you know, better intel for next week. But if you can go to this basilica at a time when they are practicing the organ, and you can call and they'll tell you, it's amazing. Absolute pipe organ. It's gorgeous. And just sitting there and kind of taking it all in, it's amazing. It's in the heart of the French Quarter. So if you're gonna do any kind of like walking tour of the French Quarter or anything, you're gonna walk literally right in front of it. It's pretty, it's calm, it's just, I highly recommend it. It's a little different, I know, than what a lot of people like to do when they go to New Orleans, but I would definitely take some time out just to see it, even if I didn't like hang around, like walk in front of it and just enjoy that part. So tell me, are you all looking at doing, if you go to like New Orleans, are you looking at doing things only in the town, or are you looking at having a car and being able to drive some? And the reason I'm asking that is because of you've got some really neat things, even within like an hour's drive of New Orleans. What did the Spanish Quarter? Okay, it's the French Quarter. It may have been the largest port for cotton. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all. Getting through TSA with a wheelchair, you're not going to have any problems with that, I don't think. I would be really surprised if you had any kind of problems getting a wheelchair in. But set up for a program specialist and call them. They can tell you. But I don't think you'll have any problems personally. Okay, so you're going to want to stay if you're not going to drive, then you're going to want to stay in the downtown area. Tons of things, absolutely tons of things to do. So I still would recommend trying to do a bus tour, because one of the things about being on a bus tour is you get to talk to the driver, and he or she will give you a running commentary of the things that you're seeing. So take a little notepad with you, make notes, and talk to them. And then as you go through on the bus tour, jot down a little note of anything you may want to go back and see when you're not on the tour. And make sure it includes a cemetery as part of that tour. I understand that, Tanya. A lot of people are. So the thing about airports is they are designed so that people who have anxiety, you've got signage. They have really good signage at airports. That's just part of how it is in the US airports, because they know people have anxiety about flying. Also, they're well laid out for the most part. You may run across an airport sometimes that's undergoing construction, but otherwise they're pretty well laid out. Everybody, oh my gosh, I have not run into an airport employee yet that was rude or hateful. Like, I see it on TikTok, and you hear about it, but from my experiences, gate agents have always been, really pretty nice. So if you need help, they'll help you. To make things easier, especially with your conditions with like mobility and so forth, what I would do is exactly what I did the last time that I flew that was non-emergency. And that is, when you set up your tickets, tell them you want transportation. So that way, when you get to the airport and you get to the ticketing agent, um, from that point on, you won't have to worry about transportation. Like they can take you over to like the TSA, they can take you to the gate, they can take you on any kind of transfers, and you don't have to worry. So do that, arrange for that transportation, arrange for a TSA program specialist, and they will walk you right through the TSA checkpoint. They'll help you with everything. With me, they were absolutely amazingly phenomenal. The, to me, the TSA program specialist was just like an angel sent down from heaven to help. Um, Highly recommend it. So if you get transportation and you get a program specialist, then you really don't have that much left to worry about as far as the airports and flying. You're going to want to get there. They used to say 2 hours before your flight left, but now they're saying 3 hours. I would really go more with three myself because I don't walk that fast. And so once you get off, once you get off the airplane, transportation may take you like over to baggage claim to get baggage if you've checked a bag. But then you're still going to be kind of on your own. You still got to walk to the ticketing agent, um, and so forth. So there's going to be some walking where you're going to be kind of on your own a little bit. But if you ask for transportation and you ask for a program specialist, then most of your worries are eliminated, not eliminated, but made better right then by doing that. Okay, we're looking at some two packages. A lot of them just like walking towards us, and we can't do that tour. Um, what I would do is, okay, if you want to walk around New Orleans, I do encourage that because it's such a neat city. And I would do it daytime, not nighttime. It's a different flavor in the city. But daytime for me, it's just easier for me to see street signs and read business names to help me figure out where I am and where I'm going. So I really like daytime better for that. But if you're a nightlight woman, feel free to go out at night. That's just me. Like work. I like daytime. Um, I would see about picking up a walking tour brochure from the Tourism and Visitor Center. And you can contact them ahead of time online and have them send out a packet to you. But the reason why I would look at the walking tour brochure is to see if there's anything that is on that walking tour that you just don't want to miss. Okay. Because you can always take an Uber or a Lyft straight to that, even if you don't want to do the entire walking tour. Or you may just want to hit a couple of highlights on your walking tour if they're near each other and take an Uber or a shuttle like from your hotel to like that point and then see two or three things that are right together. You don't just because you pick up a brochure about a walking tour doesn't mean you have to do the entire walking tour. You can do just parts of it. Okay, Living Positively says there's so many things I didn't realize that you have to do now when you fly, as far as what you can bring and where they have to be packed or carried on. The TSA has lots of rules that you have to follow about what you can pack and what you can't. Um, I'll see about doing a live stream on that. Give me a couple of months. But I'll see. When are y'all looking at leaving? If this is, do I have a couple of months? And that's just because I'm going to be out of town a lot for the next several weeks. Okay. Um, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I get so anxious. I bet you can. And that's another reason to get a TSA program specialist and to get transportation because they'll help you with it. And let's see. Oh, Living Positively just got hers done for another 10 years. Got a horrible picture, but grateful she got it. There you go. And Tanya says she doesn't think many people like those kinds of pictures, and I have to agree. Okay. Din Lafarge on YouTube has a playlist for traveling where I learned a lot. I'm not leaving until December. Okay. Next fall. Okay. So good. Thank you. I've got time. I've got time. Good. Thank you. Part of it too about like packing to fly is just minimizing the TSA hassle. Um, to do that, like I said, I didn't take any liquids. A friend of mine did, and she was like shoving things into um, her little Ziploc bag, which is fine. I mean, and she was happy doing that. I had so much other medicine and stuff. I just felt like if I could eliminate that, that's what I wanted to do. So, and we talked about, before taking your medicine in the original containers, even if it is a little plastic baggie with the pharmacy label on it, if that's what the pharmacist gives you as your original container, bring it, whatever it is. Um, and I'll see about putting together something just for packing and flying. If all goes well, I'm going to be taking a trip by air, um, but it's not going to be until later this summer, possibly fall. Saving money is tough, and there's some little things that you can do to help you save here and there, um, which we can talk about too. Because always, like when I travel, I always have to save money to save up for the trip, and I always have to save money on the trip. It's just the way it goes. So yeah, no, I'll look at that. I'll also see about putting some things together for next week's live stream to see about talking about specifically about New Orleans. It's a really neat place, and there is so much stuff that you can do. LOL, oh Gayle, I'm feeling the saving a lot right now. Yeah, yeah, because you nobody's made of money, especially these days. So you've really got to save up and then save on the trip where you can. So, yeah. And some little things too that you can do like ahead of time to prepare for the trip. Like if you know that there are restaurants that you like, look it up and see if those restaurants exist in the city that you're going to. And then, like, let's say you have extra money one day, you can go ahead and buy a prepaid card just for that restaurant. Like, okay, I knew that this trip that I'm on right now, I know that I'm running into Wendy's. I know I'm running into Arby's. I'm going to run across a DQ here and there. And I know I'm going to eat at the Cracker Barrel. So, to help take some of the last minute financial crunch off, I saved gift cards that I was given for like birthday, Christmas, Mother's Day, like when the kids gave us stuff and friends. I saved those gift cards. And so we're using them on the trip. Also, with AAA, I can get it's essentially cash back. They don't call it cash back. I forget, but AAA dollars is what they call it. So if I go into AAA and buy a gift card, then I get the AAA dollars. So I'll at least save like the next time I renew my AAA membership. But I went ahead and bought gift cards for Wendy's and the Cracker Barrel. So that way it took off. I didn't have to buy those last minute. Um, so things like that helps. Tanya says Lori asked me to go to Cancun with her. but I'm phobic about going out of the United States. Um, I just, I think that is so cool. I, you know, I don't go out of the states because I want to like my goal, my whole goal, and my whole goal in life. But one of my goals is I want to see all 50 states, and then I want to go out of the country, with the exception of driving to Alaska as part of the volunteerism for the mission trip. I kind of make an exception for that. Um, but before I go out of the country, I just want to see all 50 states. Can you purchase a travel card for discounts? Not necessarily a travel card for most for how do I phrase this? Okay, so in the US, we don't have that many necessarily travel cards, but we have things like AARP. So, like with an AARP membership, you can save on some restaurants, some hotels, and so forth. AAA, you can save on restaurants and hotels and so forth. Sam's Club memberships, they got a travel section. I think Costco has a travel section. So they're not exactly travel cards, but those are ways to save money. A general travel card, let me put some more thought into that. I cannot think of anything except I think Amtrak years ago used to have a card, and I have not looked at the Amtrak website in forever. That would be the only thing that I would know of. I think I've heard that there are sometimes rail cars and so forth that can get you discounts over in Europe, but I don't know. I don't have that experience. Wow, all 50 states is a lot of travel. Yeah, but I'm getting there. That's my goal, and I've got the ones that I'm missing are Hawaii and that northeast quadrant. And I've done a lot of the northeast, but I don't necessarily count it because like I lived in Vermont as a baby, so I've been to like Vermont and New Hampshire, but like I was a baby, so I don't remember it. So I've been there, but I'm not counting it. So my friend Adrian invited me down to her house for Thanksgiving in Florida. Rather, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that this year or not. You've got time. You've got time. You've got time to save money, and you've got time to decide for sure what what you want to do as far as you do or don't want to go. So you've got time. Don't worry. Don't worry. So yeah. Um, and I'm thinking too about discounts. My favorite it really is going to be either AAA or AARP, and both of those you require a membership. Um, AAA, I'll tell you one of the things I like about AAA is um, if you were to be in a car and you get stranded, yes, you can call for a tow and all that stuff. But if it's something that's going to delay your trip and you find out you have to stay like an extra day or whatever, they'll help cover that. You can also get passport photos taken for free and triptychs and maps and helpful information and stuff like that. I really like it. AARP memberships, they're not that expensive, and you can save at a bunch of places too. I would just poke around on their websites and see if they have discounts at places I wanted to go and be and so forth. I just found the founder's card, which Forbes mentions. I have heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard good things about it. I've heard negative things about it. So it's been a while since I looked at it, honestly. I'll do some more research on that though. But that might be something that you might want to look at. What I would do before deciding for sure which way to jump, I would look not just at, they say, oh, we have discounts on hotels, or oh, we have discounts on restaurants. I would go through and see if I could pull up a list and find out what hotels and what restaurants, and look at it from the perspective of, are those places on the list places that you would go to? And then decide whether or not you want to do it and which way you want to go and so forth. Because you don't want to jump into any kind of card or membership or whatever, and then find out that, yeah, they've got a lot of discounts, but you don't like most of them. So don't do that. So the founder's card may be the way that you want to go. Just look at the individual lists and pay attention to it. Read the fine print, basically. That'll help you decide what you want to do. Yeah. So I will look up, thank you all so much first for hanging out with me tonight. And I'll look up some more information, and we'll talk about New Orleans some next week, and go from there. Okay. And I will look at putting together something on traveling, like air travel and getting through the airports and stuff like that a little later this summer. So, yeah. A travel card is a discount card that can help you get discounts on travel, special perks, things like that. So that's what a travel card is in this sense. So, yeah. All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate it. I try keeping these streams to about an hour, and we're a few minutes over that right now, but I also feel like my voice is petering out. So, all right. Thank you all again. Okay. All right. That sounds like we have a plan for next week. Okay. Free for 6 months. That's hard to walk away from. So, yeah, it gives you a lot of time to try it and so forth. So, yeah, do that. So, all right. Well, next week, Sunday, is when the live stream will be, not on Saturday. And I will talk to you then. Okay, you all go on. Have a great week. Take care. Good night, everybody. Good night.